Kaya Wanju, Nunuk Mordich Anna, Nani Mordich. So hello and welcome. Are you good? I'm good, and I'm excited about today's open day. As we meet on Wajat Noongar Buja, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians, the Wajat people of the Noongar Nation, and wish to show my respect for their elders past, present and emerging. I also acknowledge and respect their continuing culture and the contribution they make to the life of this city and the region. Before I start, I would like to begin with a quick safety brief. The Hyatt, like other buildings, have a two-stage alarm, which I'm not going to try and impersonate, and I think most of you know what they are. In the event of an emergency, hotel employees will direct you to the nearest evacuation exit. Please remain calm, orderly, and do not use the lift. The assembly point is Langley Park, which is behind the hotel by the river, and the internal emergency number is 333. Can you also please turn off your mobile phones or put them on silent during the talks? There is a tradition in the Geological Survey open days that the first person whose phone goes off has to shout the first drinks at the sundowner after the show. I would also point out that this event is being videoed and photographed, and I'm sure you've seen the signs, so if you don't want your photo taken, please see our production staff either at the back or on table 6. I have to laugh a little bit about that because I remember being told of one event where the MC made the same statement that I just made then. And so one fellow went up to ask that his photo not be taken, whereupon the organisers asked if they could take his photo so it could be passed on to staff so they would not take his photograph. I would like to acknowledge and welcome the Honourable Bill Johnson and welcome everyone to the Geological Survey of Western Australia's Open Day 2021. It has been a long time between drinks, and this is the first time the event has been held in Perth rather than Fremantle. And for the first time, we have a full house. So it's actually full, and there's a couple of people trying to scalp tickets out the front. Please ignore them. See me, I'll give you one for $1,000. The last open day was in February 2019, and it was due to the feedback that we received at that time that the date and the venue has been changed. Of course, COVID has had its impact as well, delaying this event by a year. 2020-21 has been the year of adaptation and change for the Geological Survey, including, I think, for probably one of the first or very few times, a shutdown of the field season in 2020. We introduced the Accelerated Geoscience program to get data out to you faster, and you will see the displays around the place, and there are USB available at the front counter should you wish to purchase them. This will be spoken about in more detail later, so I'm not going to steal anybody's thunder here. It has also been a year of innovation and strategy for the survey, and it has been, for me, an inspiration to witness the way our staff have dealt with these unusual circumstances and risen to the performance that they have done over this last financial year. Some of these include the expansion of the Kalgoorlie Core Library, which will be officially opened in 2 weeks and is one of the few government projects that has been completed ahead of schedule and on budget. We've had increased funding for the EIS, which allows for more co-funded drilling projects and a new funding scheme that Charlotte will talk about later. We've also been looking at more inventive ways of interrogating our data using artificial intelligence, machine learning, such as what we did with the WOMAX data sets. This year has also been the year of strategies. We developed the 10-year strategy for the Geological Survey called Unearthing Western Australia, which outlines our approach for geoscience, data, people and information for the next decade. We have also developed a geoscience data transformation strategy, and, as Klaus will speak about later, a geoscience strategy. Finally, a whole of sector mineral and petroleum resources development strategy was developed and released this year. Geological Survey has also been tackling the issues that face the state, nation and the world around a low carbon economy and the net zero emissions by 2050 statements around the globe. These include focusing on critical minerals, hydrogen, and we've thrown a bit of a spanner into the works because most people talk about manufactured hydrogen and green hydrogen. We are actually noting there are instances of natural hydrogen in the state. So we'll see how that develops. Also, the future battery industry metals and how we can do downstream processing for the batteries. And finally, our role in the environment, social governance credentials of the state and of the industry and how we can contribute to raising those to a higher profile on the global stage. Today is a jam-packed program of talks which will finish off with what will be an interesting panel discussion at the end of the day. Before I hand over to the Minister to open today's event, I would like to remind you that the Join the Conversation QR code is available on your tables on the sets. That will enable you to access the Q&As and pose your questions to the speakers during the day. It will also make it available for you to enter live polls and much more. I would now like to introduce the Honourable Bill Johnson, Minister for Mines and Petroleum, Energy and Corrective Services, to open the Geological Survey of Western Australia's 2021 Open Day.